Hello, my name is Frank Ostroff, and I just want to say it's really an honor for me to have been asked to address the BDP BCPR retreat. The work of the United Nations is incredibly important to the well-being of the world, and I realize that many of you could be doing other things with your lives, but instead have chosen to help others, often going to dangerous places to help others and make the world a better place. So I thank you so much for your service, and I'm very honored to have been asked to do this videotape for the retreat. Now, the reason why I think I was asked to address and talk, to give my thoughts on how to achieve effective collaboration between BD and BCPR is, first of all, due to my recent participation in the stock-taking activity at BCPR, leading to a report which is now being finalized for BCPR. And secondly, because I actually am the originator of the concept of the horizontal collaborative organization, wrote a book on it, and have worked successfully with dozens of organizations that in all different types of sectors as to help them achieve effective collaboration that improves overall performance. First, I want to start out by talking about the importance, why collaboration is important. The reason why collaboration within UNDP is important is because the work of UNDP is inherently cross-disciplinary and requires collaboration. At the very beginning of my work at with BCPR a few months ago, I realized that the core work of UNDP entails the following: the deployment of the right sets of people with the right sets of skills, with the right resources, in the right combinations to prevent or solve complex interdisciplinary problems on a timely and effective basis. Now, organizations need to be designed and execute effectively their core work. And the core work of UNDP is inherently cross-disciplinary. That's why when I listen to people or hear people within UN or elsewhere talk about the problem of functional silos, it's because the core work of UNDP does not fall neatly into functional silos, because it is in fact solution and prevention of complex interdisciplinary problems. So, for example, just one illustration, global change problem, climate change that leads to drought with water supplies water sources used by multiple countries that, if not addressed, can lead to conflict. Just one illustration where the problems obviously require tight collaboration and are interdisciplinary in their core. Second, it's important to acknowledge that BDP and BCPR have made effective steps to achieve collaboration that will help improve performance. There's the signing of the leaders of both bureaus, the principles of collaboration, work by units within the bureaus on joint prioritization, storyline, work planning, the looking for CPR engagements that will support capacity development. These are all important steps. But based on my experience working with organizations that are trying to institutionalize effective collaboration, there's at least 5 priority areas that also need to be addressed. First, an effective leadership team across the top, meaning across the top of both bureaus, needs to be instituted. Now, high-performing teams have certain characteristics in common: a joint performance objective, mutual accountability by all team members against that objective, an agreed-on decision-making approach that's shared by all, overlapping skills, and a common work ethic. These are all characteristics of high-performing teams, and requires a set of management disciplines to make sure that those are instituted. One of the beneficial results of something like that is, for example, if there's a performance issue, instead of one organization blaming the other, because there's joint accountability for joint performance goals, then leadership of each would hold the members or the units within their bureau accountable for and assure that they are accountable for achieving overall for performance. And it makes no sense to have a lot of efforts at mid-levels within organizations to do collaborative work if there's not tight collaboration across the top and an effective team across the top. Second, each bureau needs to do more in understanding and executing what the other needs to achieve high performance. It's important to realize that collaboration is never an end unto itself. It's a means to an end, and that end being high performance against the mission of UNDP and the missions of each bureau. So each bureau needs to understand what the other needs from them in order to achieve high performance against UNDP's mission and its own mission, and then make sure that it gives the other bureau what is needed so that they can achieve those performance goals. It makes all the difference in the world in terms of instituting collaboration if each bureau would say, you know, we never could have achieved that objective or succeeded at that mission or achieved that performance goal without the help of the other bureau. There really is something to this collaboration. And it's through it's that performance theme and helping the other achieve their performance objectives and understanding what's required that will really go very far in instituting the collaboration. One thing that best practice collaborative organizations do to enable that is the establishment of real service level agreements with teeth. These aren't just memorandums of understanding, but what they are a joint agreement on what each will do for the other, with what characteristics and what timing, in order to support the other organization and to make sure that those service level agreements have real teeth in them. The third area is going further and significantly increasing the deployment of joint teams in the field. This is consistent with the performance theme. Again, nothing will go further in instituting collaboration as joint work and joint accomplishment of a real performance goal. And it's through significantly increased deployment of joint teams in the field that each bureau will understand the capabilities of the other and develop the bond that comes from joint work that will achieve a real performance goal. Fourth, additional detailing of roles and responsibilities. Where there's overlapping activities, decisions, and areas of responsibility, what's typically done is the development of a detailed matrix to identify for each one of these which bureau is responsible, which is accountable, where each needs to be consulted, and where each needs to provide input. Finally, going further in terms of joint training, rotation, and performance evaluation. So high-performing collaborative organizations feature a lot of joint training that again helps develop multi-skill and understanding of each other's capabilities. Rotation through each other's bureau allows each bureau to stand in the other's shoes and see things from the other's perspective. And also, high-performing collaborative organizations really emphasize effective collaboration in individuals' performance evaluations. They will, for example, factor in evaluations by those with whom you served on a team or are supposed to be collaborating, and have them evaluate you on did you give us what was needed, when it was required. For UNDP, this means making sure that this isn't just on a checklist, but is featured in the key results area, and that this is a focus in performance evaluations. I hope that this is very helpful. The service and the work that both bureaus do is incredibly important. The work of UNDP and high performance against this mission is incredibly important. And I want to thank you for your service.